futures prop firm setup and how to do copy trades and my whole setup. I'm going to show you a live trade here. If you want to get into prop trading futures with prop firms, it's taken me a bit to set this up. So you can check the link in the description for my Skool community where I'll outline this whole thing. And like I said, it took me a couple weeks to get this set up. Now that I'm set up, you can see this was a live trade I took today. And I'll explain each element of this, but we can watch this play out here. I'm doing NinjaTrader desktop. I'm running this on a computer, like a cloud computer, and it kind of went up, it kind of went down. This took a while, you know. I'm doing kind of fast forwarding through this to show you how I do this, okay? And it's going to start going up here pretty soon. I have my stop loss set down there, right under that blue zone. You can see if you zoom out here where things have been happening. It looks a little crazy, but watch this. It's going to start going up. As it starts going up, I move my stop loss up. Right, $115 profit there. I move my stop loss up, a little more, and I'll let this play out in real time. I kind of move it up and let it go. Look how fast that is, okay? And then, you know, if it would have kept going, I would have made even more money. But so that's how I execute my trade today, all right? You can see this in one account. I have in one account $280. Now, last week, all these accounts, boom, liquidated. You know, I'll show that video later. But right now, I'm doing one single account. If I can follow my basic rules for 5 days, I'm going to add another account. So if I can just follow my rules, which are pretty simple, they're really simple rules. If I can follow those rules, then I will add one account each day and scale up. My problem has been I just add a whole bunch of accounts and then I just go crazy, y'all. I go crazy. Like I like spray and pray, basically, is what I'm doing, what I was doing. And I keep adding contracts. So here's my rules. Here's my basic rules for this week. Let me see if I can show you this in a real easy way. Let's see, notes. Yeah, prop firm. Let's get this out of here. There we go. So prop firm master plan for April. I'm going to risk $150 max per trade. I'm not going to move my stop loss at all. You know, within $150 to $200. I've kind of shifted it around a little bit, so it's not like I broke the rule. But once I set my stop loss, that's it. And it can be, you know, max $150. Now, today, as I made a little bit of money on a few trades, I moved my stop loss down to like 200. So anywhere within that 150, 200, whatever. But the max is 150. That's kind of the rule. So once I'm in, I'm not moving my stop loss. Before, I was moving my stop loss down. If it goes down further, I move it down, just hoping for a turnaround. You know, that none of that. The daily loss limit is 300. So if I lose more than $300 or 300, I'm done. And when I get to 150 to 200, that's a range because sometimes you get like $160 and you feel like, well, that's good. Now, if I break any rules at any time in any way, I have to take 2 days off. I'm in the penalty box. You know, this would be a penalty box. That's what that is. All right. This is the only way I know how to do this because, guys, I'll break my rules and just I'll just keep breaking them, you know. And if I keep my rules for 5 days, here's my reward. Okay, this is my reward. If I keep my rules for 5 days, I'll add one eval account. Okay, so today I've already already done my rules for 1 day. So this is good. You know, I'm in the profit by $200. All I need for this account to pass is $1,500 profit. That's it. That's all I need. So let's talk about my setup real quick. I mean, I'm using this Microsoft app, and this is my setup right here. So when I go into the Microsoft, it's basically like a computer that is set up. It's like a remote control desktop. It costs around $100 a month to do this, but this computer is hosted on the same servers as NinjaTrader. It's like in Chicago, and the reason why that's important is because using TradingView to copy trades was it was unruly. I mean, seriously, it was like entering and exiting. I mean, I couldn't figure out what was going on. So what I have right here is, if I want to connect to my accounts, I can just go right here. I can connect to Take Profit Trader. It connects my accounts right there. You can see they're connected. All right, and then what I have is this amazing copy trader, and let's see, where is my copy trader? So if I go to new, Replicanto, okay, then I can actually pick all of these accounts to follow. Okay, if they weren't blown, these are blown. But once I have more accounts, I can click all these on and off, and I can use a leader account, and I can have all these follow. They follow so beautifully with this. It's super fast, lightning fast. All right, that's Replicanto. So this is, I think this cost about $150. I'll have all the links in my school so you could set this up. This is what took me a while to set up. But now that I've got it set up, I'm using this tool called, and this tool is amazing. This is the tool right here. It's called the Glow Risk Reward tool. Glow Risk Reward. Okay. You can draw it on your chart anywhere, and it basically gives you, I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but basically when I'm going in to get ready to make a trade, like I can say, okay, here's where I would enter. If I was using 3 contracts, this is why it's money for me. If I was using 3 contracts, here's where my stop loss would be, you know, if I was using 3 contracts. You know, you can actually say, okay, well, I'm going to come down to here. This is where I don't think it's going to go. I want my stop loss to be down here. So you can, basically it shows you that's $265, right, of stop loss. And then you can move these around for your profit targets. So if you wanted to target up here, it's showing you in real time when you drag this around, and that's $800 profit. That's if you take 3 contracts, okay? If you want to lower your risk, take 1 contract. So this is basically how I'm sizing my trades. So I'm able to go, okay, I'm going to risk, I don't think it's, let's say I didn't think it was going to go past this line down here, okay? This is why this setup is so good. If I think this is the line, you know, this is the support line, it's not going to go below this anymore, and I want to set my stop loss right here underneath that line, you know, that's fine. Set your stop loss there. And then I want to say take 3 contracts. That would be $240 loss. So that's really too big for me. So I could do 160. That's more like in my range, about $150, about $150 range. So that's why I would do that. Then I'd go up here and I would set my order quantity to 2, and I would take my trade. Okay. So this tool changed everything for me. In terms of being able to figure out the money, you kind of configure it to you, and then you can kind of click this to follow the entry price, and so it'll follow along as this moves. This will follow, connected to entry price, multi-contract, max risk. No, there's a bunch of different settings, but basically, see how this is moving around now. As the price moves, it moves. If you go to a different time frame, if you're doing different time frames, you can kind of see that it moves along, and you can set up your thing. So this would probably be a great thing to do. Then I have the last indicator that I'm using, which is really the first indicator that I bought, was the Flex Futures entry sniper, and that's what all these red liquidity zones are. And so I can explain all that later, but this is what I have to do. This is what's kind of given me the edge to be able to actually, you know, place trades and not just go totally bonkers. And understanding the math in futures has been pretty hard for me. So now that I have this reward kind of thing, I can kind of move this around and see where my stop loss would be. And these are set up with risk reward, like 1 to 1.5, 3.0. And you can kind of, if you don't want to move it around, you can just disconnect it and say, okay, let's imagine I entered at this line down here. Okay. And then I wanted my stop loss to be down here. Then I could size that up a little bit, you know, if I wanted to. If I thought this is my trade, you know, I like to be in the biggest size that I possibly can. So, I mean, this would be where you can move around your entry, and you can say, well, if it gets to here, you know, if I want to enter right here, my stop loss underneath this low, you know, that's $140 of stop loss right there, $140. So, you know, at 5 contracts. So then you know what size to take if you're going to set up your thing. And if it goes up to this low liquidity zone up here, then you have a $400 profit. You can kind of move this around, really knowing before you enter. So you're not just entering. The other thing I have set up right now is a 3 contract stop. So I'm going to get out of my actual account because I don't want to accidentally take a trade. So I'm going to go in connections. I just hit disconnect. It disconnects my account. I'm going to connect to simulated data feed. And so now I'm in a simulated data feed. My account that I'm trading on is Sim01. So basically, if I take a trade right here, I have this automatic trade strategy set up. It's going to be, if I'm in 3 contracts, it's going to give me a $150 stop loss and a $150 take profit. So I'm going to be, for example, if I wanted to take a long right here, I'm in simulation, make sure I'm in simulation, and I say buy market right here. then what it does is it puts my stop loss at $150 right here. Okay. And it puts my, let's see. So if I move this down, you'll be able to see I was in here, move this down here. Well, see that for some reason this math is wrong, but this puts my stop loss down there. It puts my take profit up here. Okay. And so you can move these around to exactly where you want to leave them, and then you're going to leave them. That's what I've been doing. I move my stop loss to where I thought that I needed it, and then I don't move it again. So I size it up to right here, and then I put my stop loss in. But it automatically puts them in there for you, So then you can, if you're wanting to do a runner, you can move your take profit up high, and you can kind of watch it and get out when you want. Or if you're gonna go for a set amount of stop profit, then just put it where you think. I like to let my trades run, so I like to put my profit up high and just watch it. And then if I get a big runner, then then when I get the runner, that's when I'd move my stop loss. I move it up as it's going. You saw me moving it. I just pick it up and move it. And, it's not letting me go above here, but I just move my stop loss up, and I'll zoom in real tight here. Let's see, I'll zoom in real tight. And if I was going to chase this up, I'd zoom in to a certain place. It just took my stop loss off, but whatever. That's what I would do. I would chase my stop loss up until it's over, or I would just hit this close button, boom, and it would close out. So that's really the setup. It's really fast, and not only is it super fast, it's also the trade copier is super fast. Okay, so it's gonna copy up all those trades. So again, guys, if you want to know more about this, like if you're just kind of getting into futures, if you're kind of a noob, or if even if you've been trading on other platforms, these things that I put in place are really huge tools, like the Ninja, like the Flex Futures Sniper Trader indicator, huge. It just gave me some boundaries to work with. This risk indicator is huge. It gave me an opportunity to figure out, where a good trade would be. You can mess it around and look with it like, oh, I know this is going to be a good trade, and you can change all these settings to match your perfect strategy. But the biggest thing is when you enter in, you also enter in with an automatic stop loss, because sometimes I've been in trades where I don't have a stop loss and it feels super dangerous. So that's my setup right now. Today I did have a profit, so I had a $200 profit and I stopped. So I followed my rules today. Amazingly, I followed the rules. Day one is down with the $200 profit, and I really need this penalty. If I break my rules in any way, I get 2 days off trading. That's basically like I'm in a penalty box. I got to clear my mind, think it through, and so I don't get crazy, because honestly, I just like overtrade all the time, basically. Like being a binary options trader, it's kind of hard to you just kind of get addicted to hitting the button. And that's what I'm trying to overcome. Not that, the strategies and all this stuff in futures seems so much easier, but technically the learning curve is really harder. And I don't know why my dog's barking. He's trying to drive me crazy, but